Hello and welcome back to Wargame with me, Gary. Yeah, as you can hear, I'm still struggling a little bit with that cold, that man flu. So what am I doing today? I thought I'd just quickly, well, not quickly actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and paint this young lady. And I don't know if you can see that. Put that back there. I've not got it zoomed in because I'm not clever like that. But she's from Zombicide. Her name's Wanda. That's her there. Now I'm going to do. I've done the colours similar, except I've given her very gingery hair. The blue I'm not going to do. They've got dark blue. I'm going to do pink on the blue because I think that will be a nice. Contrast of colours. Yeah, and I thought whilst I paint her, we could have a little chat, see where we're going. And you'll have to bear with me because I'm going to keep getting up. Now in the background, you can also hear, I should say. Yeah, excuse me for keep getting up and down. In the background, I've got a video playing of one of the people I follow, a guy called Nurglin. He's got his own channel, and what I'm watching at the moment is thoughts on building a Realms of Chaos army. He's got loads there, and he comes up with some really good techniques and ideas, and then it looks really good. And he's got all sorts of bits and pieces in. At the moment, he's doing a wash on them. And this is what I do when I'm painting. I'll watch somebody else's video, which kind of keeps me going. And hopefully this will keep me going today. The reason I say that, of course, is because I'm struggling a little bit with a bit of a sore throat and a heavy head and a moan. Anyway. That's my phone going there. Let me I better answer that. Yeah, so my plan is to try and get her finished, or at least well on the way. Now I don't have a pink. And I've decided to do pink trim on this young lady, so I'm going to have to mix a little bit up. So if you bear with me whilst I just shake these little beauties, and generally I use these Vallejo colours. I get on well with them. I like them, it's everyone, isn't it? Everyone has their own. Everyone has their own preference to what they like to use. I like these. They work well for me. It's nice that I like the idea of just being able to squeeze that a tiny little bit out and try not to waste too much. And then, oops, I want to, right. And here we go. Right. And I want just a little bit more red in that. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more in there. No, a little more. Oh, this will be an interesting video, won't it? Me spending my whole time trying to sort out a decent colour pink. Yeah, right. I think that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. All right. That's my mixing and feather brush, which, as you can see, has had a bit of a time. And this is generally, now I have to change glasses. These are my glasses for kind of being able to see generally what I'm doing. These are my glasses for painting. I don't know how many other people do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a hat. Oops. Okay, right, so that's too much on there. There we are. Right, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of rim on the top there. Now I don't know if you can hear what Nurglin's saying in the background, but he's talking about being coming up with your own technique of getting figures painted, and I think that's definitely that's true enough. You do have to. I think you do have to develop your own technique, and you have to just persevere. And at the end of the day, it comes down to time. You just have to be able to put some time by to get them painted. Yeah. So, and hopefully that's what I'm doing here. So I'll just. Oh, so I think, yeah, I wasn't sure about the light blue and pink, but I think that's worked out quite well actually. Now what you can't see here is, I don't know, you probably can't see, I'll bring it in a bit closer. I've already put a highlight on this, on her skirt, dress, whatever you call it. But in order to help the highlights stand out a little bit more, what I will do in the creases, I'm going to put a little bit of a lighter or a light blue wash, which is slightly darker in the creases, and that will help that stand out a bit. So yeah, so those two collars have come out quite nice. Let's do the I said collars, they were cuffs obviously. It's the cold, it's made me lose my mind. And now I'll do the collars here. No. And he's just made. I'm just listening to this whilst I'm painting these guys. He just made a comment which I totally agree with. Sometimes if you break out too much, too many figures to paint at any one time, the enormity of that can be a bit off-putting. And that's certainly something I found. And isn't it, isn't it nice, we're listening to each other, because I know I'm not the only one who does this, listen to someone else when I'm painting. But we're learning all the time, we're picking up ideas from other people, and also there's something about that affirming what we already know, and I think we could all fall into that category where, oh, am I the only one who struggles with that? And no, and it's quite nice, isn't it, when you listen to somebody else talk and it confirms and you go, oh, so it's not just me. Yeah. So, I'm just going to put another coat on there to make them stand out a little bit more. Yeah. Alright, now that's coming on quite nicely. Now there should be just there across just here across the breast is the top pocket. So I've put that there. Right, get a bit more water on there. And then we're going to do the bottom of the kilt here. And I don't know if everybody else is the same as me. Sometimes when I'm painting, I have to be quiet whilst I'm just, on the more intricate bits. I just have to stop chatting.
Well, the increasingly eccentric game of political chess
Hang on.
between the EU and the UK.
Let me just
Continuing apace over
stop
the
that a
last
minute. I'll redo that in a minute. That was something I was watching on Brexit. Okay, so I'm getting you won't be able to see it if I hold it like that. I'm just getting the bottom of the dress done. And what I'll do is once I've gone, I'll have to do this bottom bit again because it's a bit, because I do put a bit of water in there. Sometimes it's a bit washy. And so what I'll do is I'll go over that again, especially with the bits that there are several different techniques I use for painting figures. One of them is I love to do washes. I do really enjoy doing washes. It just ties everything up so nicely. It just finishes it all off. The other thing I like to do is a little bit of dry brush or feather brush, and that really picks the bits out. So they're probably the two main things I do. But I will on occasions I'll do a little bit of layers. So like build layers up on the figures. I don't tend to do that a lot, to be honest. And the reason I don't do that a lot is because I want to get on and get these finished and painted. So I tend to do the easiest thing I can do to get them finished off. And washing and feather brushing seems to do the trick. And it's only if I'm doing something that I think is very special that I'll do the layers. Now I know most people do lots and lots of layers, but that's not my bag. Let me just do that. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is I'm doing some studying on. Well, I'm doing two bits of study at the moment. The main one is Mesopotamia, and it's weird. When I initially started doing the Mesopotamian project, that's my ancient Assyrians, I really concentrated on ancient Syria. But the more I'm doing, the more I'm learning, the more interested I'm becoming in. I'm going to do the apron pink as well. I mean, if it don't work out, I can paint over it. The more I find out about Mesopotamia and ancient Syria, and I'm still trying to find out as much information as I can about Tudia, who is supposedly the first king of Assyria. But the more and one of the things I wanted to do with Tudia was because there's so little information. It's not like I'm also doing some research on the Napoleonic Wars. Easy peasy. That is so easy to. There is so much information out there. People are interested in it. So you can see what other people have done, but the material which is out there, books which have been written by the ton. It's irrelevant for me in comparison to Mesopotamia. It's a relatively easy topic to follow. Topic to follow. Whereas Mesopotamia, you've really got to, if you're going to, just check that, yeah. If you're going to do anything on Mesopotamia, you've really got to do some studying, and you can't just leave it. You've got to look at. You can't just read a few books. You've got to go and I would argue you have to go to the British Museum, which I've been many times now, just to try and find out as much information as you can. Look at the diagrams that they've got and their collections, and you really do investigate. You have to really investigate what you're interested in, and so that's what I've been doing at the moment. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to piece together what was going on when if Tudir was an actual king, because there's a possibility that he didn't actually exist. He's in the king list, but what they've done, what you've got to remember is the people who are transcribing these the material which they found. It's not 100% proof, and they will say it's not 100% proof either. Oh yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, I like that. That's come out nice. Yeah, that's come out very nice actually. I'm pleased with that. I don't know if you can see that, but that's just the base colour of the pink. I'm just going to do a little bit of highlight on that now. Make some of the bits of it stand out, but to be honest, I think that's come out quite nice. So like I was saying, Tudir, if he does exist, like what I've had to do is because you can't find out what was going on when Tudir was a bit like, you can't, what did Tudir do? Because it's not there. There's very little information on what Tudir did. So what you have to do is you have to look at, we know roughly he was about, what was it? 2400, so 2400 BC to 200 BC. I think that's about right, or is it? It might have been. I might have got those dates slightly wrong. I can check that out for the next video, but it might be 250 BC. But so what I've found I have to do is I have to find out what was going on in the rest of Mesopotamia around about that time, which brings us to the Akkadian and Sumerian history, which it comes back to what I was saying. I've started to become much more interested in Assyria and Arcadia. Probably just because of the amount of stuff I've been reading, but also, it's also biblical stuff. I've been reading quite a lot about the Bible, and now with the Bible, I'm not saying I believe or I don't believe. When I was younger, I used to go to church all the time, and not all the time. I used to go on Sunday mornings. My mum and dad used to chase me out, probably so they can have their wicked way with each other. But what it did do, it gave me a grounding in Christianity. So that's quite a nice thing. So it having such a close, link to the history that I'm doing now, it is quite nice. So So there's like the biblical history I'm having to look into. Also ancient Egypt has quite a, that comes into it quite a lot, and it's just about finding so what was going on around that time. So so it gives me an idea of what he would have been doing, and the reason I want to know what he was doing and what he would have had to do in order to develop the kingdom of Assyria is like by looking at what was going on with other people at that time and see what they were doing, and then that way I can say, right, so during this time this particular thing happened, and then what I will do is do some battle reports. So that will be the plan. Just get that. But in order to do that, I've had to do an awful lot of research. And now that's made it a little bit more difficult because I actually have a learning difficulty. I'm dyslexic. Now I don't pretend that's I don't pretend that stops me from learning. That not on the contrary. In actual fact, I think it was partly because I was dyslexic that I was so determined to do my degree, just to kind of prove to myself that I wasn't a complete imbecile. There we are. Yeah. So yeah. Let's go over that again. Oh, and I was going to do the socks pink as well. And that's quite nice. I've done this. Oh, I wonder if I can just make that one a little bit. There we are. Make that a little bit more darker. There we are. Right, and then let's just do the socks. And I think once I've done these little babies, I'll call that time on this video. I don't want it to go on for too long. And my plan of getting it completely finished, as always, goes out the window. What I'll do is I'll crack on once I've turned this off. I will just want to get this pink done. And once I've turned this video off, hopefully I can try and get this finished and start something else. Yeah. And then this is quite a new thing for me to do. Painting whilst I'm chatting whilst I'm painting, and it's quite. To be fair, it's made me get a bit of a move on. So there's the pink socks, and then what I'll do is I'll do a lot of lighter pink on that, just to bring out the highlights. But I also wanted the socks to look a bit lighter anyway. While she's running around the zombie apocalyptic world. Ah, now that's interesting. That pink. Oh, I'm glad that I went with the other pink, the darker pink, because this is very close to the flesh colour. Yeah. So when I go to salute this time, I'm going to have to get myself a pink. I don't know why I say that. This will probably be the only time I ever use it. But, because I don't intend to have lots of pink regiments running around. But you never know. You never know. Right, so that's me done for now. I'm going to turn that off and try and get that painted up. what I might do is I might pause it and see if I get this finished, and if I do, then I'll show you what it looks like in the end. So excuse me whilst I get up once again.